But yeah, what else we want to get into tonight, man?
I was gonna ask you, you've collabed with Ryan Upchurch before, right?
Yep.
Tell me about that. How was that?
It was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was on live with Hosier yesterday, or not before last, talking about it. It was like my expectations weren't the same, I feel like, as a lot of people. So my expectations wasn't really to collab with church. My expectations, or not expectations, but my wants out of it was not to collab with church. Getting the call from church and just there was from just having someone like church find my music and be like, "Oh my God, you need to come here, man. Let's work together." It was like I didn't need a song with church at that point in time, because that alone for me was like it just meant so much. It was everything to me, right? And then getting there on that side. So putting that aside, I could care less if I'm on a song with church at that point in time. I don't care if he could tell me to get in the booth and just talk. I'd be fine. I wouldn't care, right? But the cool part about the whole thing was watching him. I've been with a lot of musicians. I've watched a lot of artists. I've watched a lot of songwriters. I've watched a lot of guitarists. I've watched a lot of people do what he does, and I'm one of those people that does what he does. Not at that level, but I'm someone that knows my way around the studio. I'd never seen anybody that was as talented as this man and do what this man does, right? I'd never seen anybody that was just picking up instruments and was like picking up a guitar and creating a riff, and then picking up some drums and creating a beat, and picking up, his harmonica and working on some things. And it was just like crazy watching this guy just like go and work on music. And it was like, it was inspiring. It was something that, like, I didn't care. I could have sat there in the seat and not got in the studio. Point being, I didn't have to come there and record a song, because watching it, being a part of it, and feeling like you're like in the room while something's happening. And I don't mean to be cheesy about saying greatness, but when you're watching something be creative, I don't care if the people that would say, "Oh my God, this guy's up his butt because he's saying calling and says it's greatness." I challenge anybody to create something that man can create in that length of time in that studio. I would challenge anybody. I would challenge myself to do that, because it can't be done. I don't care what anybody thinks. But then to give you a different outlook on things, when I left there, the last time I was there, when I left, we'd have a whole weekend of just like days, just creating music and just, bonding and having everybody just having a badass time, right? And just working on music. And then when I leave, that's when I first saw one of the first disses that come out. And I was like, it's kind of crazy. I told my wife, I was like, it's crazy that, like, I haven't heard not one derogatory or none of these people's names come out of this man's mouth while I was there, right? Not one. No matter, forget what's on YouTube, on stories. In real life, not once did I hear a derogatory remark, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's kind of crazy that a man with a baby and a man with a wife and responsibilities like he has, that's creating music, trying to have 3 albums come out. And then you leave and you're like hearing all this other crap, and you're like, man, if they only knew what that man's back there doing, right? And so that was a crazy thing for me. That was the eye opener for me that told me a lot of what not just happened in the studio in Nashville when everybody had to get together, or the dismiss that happened soon after that. Mm-hmm. I go back to the fact that I don't care what's on stories. I don't care what's on Instagram. I go back to the fact that the focus that was being put in at that studio was something I'd never seen in my entire life, in my entire career. Never. You got a dude that's literally creating from scratch timeless melodies, timeless riffs, timeless stories, timeless writing. And I'm sorry, but there's nothing that can be created in a Nashville studio with a bunch of guys that's coming down there for an agenda that can compete with what's being created, what was being created in that studio at Ghost Ranch.
Facts. And I was even there, and I could tell that.
There's nothing that can be, because I'm an artist that I can play every instrument except for drums, and I never once I told Hosier this the other day. I never once felt the need to pick up a guitar of his. I never once felt the need to play anything. I was just sitting back listening to this dude do it. And man, like I said, he's super talented in different lanes, not just his rapping, man. It's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy to watch. But I'm like, I don't care what anybody says. If you ask me if I would rather be at that other studio or that one, I'd pick that one any day. Any day. There's no comparison. It doesn't matter.
Can't blame you.
So that's it. But yeah, so it was a, and I'm gonna tell you right now, there's a weird vibe that you get when you cross over into Cheatham County. There's a weird I don't know if it's vibe or what it is, but it's like a surreal feeling, right? When you know that you're on the way there to his place. It's weird. It's weird. I can't explain it. It'll give you cold chills because you just know that you're like, you could potentially be a part of something that is timeless, that people 20 years from now will be playing. And that alone is something it's remarkable. Crazy.
Do you think that like maybe they got a sense that y'all was over there cooking up some heat and was like, let me try to take it down or distract it or
I think, and if they weren't over us doing it at that point in time, it's more of it's a thing of that, he's on the radar anyway because he's telling everybody that, he's got 3 albums coming out, right? And of course he's going to tell everybody it's promoting. And as coming from them, I can see them being like, listen, we're going to shoot some, take some shots. We're going to shoot it out there and see if something sticks. And it may not sink the ship, but we're going to take a shot at it. You know what I mean? It's like a bunch of pirates trying to take down a ship. And they may be able to do it. They may not be able to do it. And I don't feel like they did it at all. I feel like it kind of backfired on them because now a lot of people, I feel like, are going to be expecting the songs to come out from the studio in Nashville. I'm saying they're going to be expecting soon those songs to come out with all those guys that was in Nashville at that studio. And I don't think they're going to come out. Personally, I could be totally wrong, but I don't feel like a lot of those songs are going to come out or any of those songs are going to come out.
I agree.
But the difference is that Church's songs will be coming out, right? So that's where you got to put your money where your mouth is. Yep, that's Preacher 3, and that's where you got to put your money where your mouth is because he's going to show that, and there's 2 more albums behind that's coming. So clearly he's creating music at the same time period that they did, and theirs ain't coming out because it's coming out later on, and they're going to pick which ones and all this stuff. But I really don't believe any of those songs are going to come out. I could be totally wrong though. But for me, like I said at the time, for me it was, I don't know none of these people. Like I don't know these people from Adam. I couldn't tell you who they are, right? So I know Church. That's what I know. And so the rest of them are figments of my imagination. There's somebody that I've seen on the screen. That's it. They've never done nothing for my music career. So right now, when it comes to my children, I don't know who they are, right? I don't know them. Don't wish them no harm because I don't even know them. I have no idea who these people are. But for me, it's like that whole environment. I'd seen stuff like that. When you go through breakups and stuff, right? You go through losing friends and stuff like that. You see petty stuff happening. Right. So you're kind of on board. You're like, you see the signs, the warning signs, right? You see people posting photos that you and your ex haven't talked to, right? And your ex don't, usually talk to them. So you see people posting photos. And then you see like weird posts on social media. So all those little signs that I saw of like a normal breakup was what I was seeing from this situation, right? Because you know how when you break up with some girl, first thing she's going to do is she's going to run and try to find your old homie, right?
Just take a picture with him.
Happen in real life, bro. That's going to happen in real life. And what next? Your old homie is going to find your other homie that you had a problem with in real life, right? And this is real life 101. And then you're going to find an old business partner. Your old homie's going to find your old business partner that you didn't get along with. And then your old business partner is going to find your ex-girlfriend. And this is just crap that happens, right, in real life. And we all got to watch that just at that studio.
Crazy.
So we got to watch that in real time. And then you expect, people like myself who, whether I knew church or don't know church, you're not going to get real people to go down there. And shame on the people that did do it just for the opportunity. Like I still say, it don't mean you're a terrible human being, but I wouldn't want you as one of my homies. That's for sure.
Facts. They all show their true colors.
I would not want that at all, because even Brantley Gilbert's got that bro code song, and it's like talks about like just bro code. You know what I mean? And I don't care what your homie's done to you. I don't care what it is. If your homie's done anything, you don't go to the X's, right? There's a level of bro code that you kind of gotta go by, and
Facts.
there were just none at all. So that's where I was. Do what?
That shows a lot.
Yeah, it was a crazy situation, and like I said, I was glad to be doing what I was doing.